Heartlings, HeartGamer26 here, and I am back with a brand new episode of AutoCraft. Yes, we are back. If you saw the last episode, you know that we did a building montage of me building up Tia's house and, yeah, all that fun stuff. And we are here today in front of my starter base because if you watched one of my streams recently, I was gathering materials, I think for Tia's place, either that or for, Soleil's, but I was gathering materials and I happened to see this. And so I figured I'd start off the episode and we're going to take a look at this and see what it entails and go from there. So I haven't seen really what it is. I didn't get a look at it prior, so I've left it alone. I was going to show it on video. So if we open it up. Oh, okay. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, we got some azalea leaves, leaf litter, mycelium. It looks like we got some game tickets and the gaming hub location. That's awesome. So I've been to the gaming hub once. That was to help test the game out for Bear, as you guys saw. But that's really cool. Oh, I know we were implementing game tickets. Oh, that's such a cool design for the gaming district. So that's really cool. I'll have to take a look at what we can do in the future. But with that, today we are going to be doing the next build, which is we're going to be working on Soleil's house. So I'm going to sleep, and because, you know, it's getting nighttime, and I know not everything is lit up here. Most of it is, but not everything is lit up here. So I'm going to go to sleep. We're going to head over and I'm going to jump right into a montage and probably do the same. We'll be talking. But before I do that, if you guys don't know, the new update, Tiny Takeover, has come out. And I have a question for y'all. What are your, I guess it's the question of the week. What are your thoughts on the Tiny Takeover? I've only experienced it once, and that was during the April Fool's snapshot with Herdcraft. Otherwise, a lot of the stuff I play on hasn't updated to that, like LPM4 and AutoCraft, we haven't updated to it, and Cobblemon is like a couple versions behind. So I haven't been able to really play around and experience it, except for seeing that tiny little chick in the game, and that's it. And it was like, oh yeah, it's in this update. So what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below, and we can have a lovely discussion. I like the looks of the babies. I want to see them in game, and who knows? I don't know how long it'll be before we update, if we do update, but yeah. All right, anyway, I'm gonna sleep and we're gonna head over and I will see you guys there. All right, so just like what we did with Tia's house, I am doing another talkover as I'm doing a time lapse here, and as you can see, I am currently working on some end stone, and you'll see in a bit I'll be working with some mud bricks. That is because I decided when I originally built Soleil's house to have kind of where underneath where the stuff that's in her yard is for the pathing. Technically that's what it's called. I decided to use terracotta, and it's kind of more of a brick texture in the game, and we don't really got terracotta bricks. I know we have regular bricks, and I know we have terracotta, and we have glazed terracotta, but for what I wanted here, the regular terracotta and the glazed terracotta was just way too bright, and I don't think the bricks would have sold it as much as I wanted, because I wanted it more of a, I was gonna say like a toned down color, but you got the end stone, which is kind of bright, but I wanted some type of pattern and brick look to it, and the other stuff I was working with didn't work, and now I have the bricks and the end stone in the mud, and it's gonna be interesting because later on, if we get to the next parts of the islands, the pathing I have is terracotta, and at least I have the brick, or like the block palette that I want to use, but it'll be interesting if I can somehow work the pattern in. I doubt it, but it's beside the point. That's a future heart problem, not a current heart problem. So I decided to work with mud and stone, and I think it turned out pretty good. I like the pattern. It works, or it did. I might have been able to change it a little bit looking at it now, but it's fine. Now we're working on kind of what goes in the yard. Started the house up a bit. I decided to go like smooth sandstone and, you know, the pale oak, and then some of the mossy bricks, stone bricks, and copper. And for her exterior decorations. Originally it was gold, but the gold in Minecraft and the gold in Animal Crossing don't mesh, because like the gold in Animal Crossing kind of has more of this ancient feel to it, and you get different designs, you get different looks. And while I can work on armor stands a bit, I'm not the greatest, so I don't know how to really work it that well. And so I went with copper instead, and because it kind of gave that more ancient feeling. And while it does kind of blend in with the pathing, I like it. Plus I can also play around with like different block palettes. I can add the copper golem, which you'll see later, as a little statue. I can have the copper bulbs. You may notice some of the copper isn't as oxidized as the others. It takes so long for it to oxidize, and I can't get that one trick where you put a bunch of it on the... I don't have enough copper for it to do the one trick where you put it on the other already oxidized copper. So I'm letting it naturally oxidize while I work. And if we look back at the house, I'm using now also red smooth sandstone, something that because Soleil's house is very orange, and I think it kind of fits the vibe I was going with her house, because, you know, got the ancient outside, you know, that's kind of actually why I put the stuff, what I did outside, kind of got that, kind of got, you know, the outside, which is kind of fancy and out and like ancient looking, and then you got the house itself, which is kind of the nice orange, and you got a bit of the white, and then you saw the blue glazed terracotta, which I really like, and we'll get to the red. We'll get to the red in a bit. But I also got the flooring, which I use deep slate, and this is like the first time I really am using the blast furnaces as flooring, which I really like. But okay, I need to go on a rant about this red. So it kind of also pertains to the copper, as I realized just now. But while I was designing this and trying to figure out a good red, because her interior is so red. It is very, very red. I'm trying to figure out good blocks that would work with this. I went with redstone. I went with netherrack. I went red netherrack bricks, which you will see in a bit. I did use them, but not for the walls. Mangrove, red terracotta, red concrete, glazed terracotta, a bunch of red stuff. And so I was losing my mind on what kind of red I was going to use, and I decided to go the mangrove. And of course, what did they announce in Chaos Cubed? They announced Cinnabar, which would be perfect in this build, and I'm so sad that it's now happening now, and I'm going to have to wait till, who knows, maybe summer, if not like winter. And it's just like, no, I could have had beautiful red blocks that would have worked so perfectly in her build. No, why now? Why couldn't you have released this earlier? And to tangent off of that a little bit, so as I said, copper is taking place of the gold. Well, if you've seen like what they've done with the new blocks, sulfur blocks, they kind of made it a little bit more of a gold color-ish, and that would have worked perfectly for the exterior of her base, because it would have been, I could have had the fun shapes, I could have had the... Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to have the copper golem. I probably could and just leave it normal, but because it doesn't really match. But I could have had the sulfur blocks outside, and that would have been the perfect gold that I needed. And it's just like, why? This has happened like multiple times where I'll build something. I did this before where I built the city of Baron, and I used back then endstone. That was before they introduced bamboo, which would have worked perfectly lore-wise and perfectly instead of endstone. And I'm so sad. And it's just like, oh, okay. Sorry, I have been holding this rant in ever since they announced it, since Minecraft Live. But I really do like how the mangrove looks. And a quick back tangent to the exterior. If you see those mossy pillars, I did add copper bulbs to it, and then I used daylight sensors because I thought daylight sensors would work if you just place it on top of a copper bulb and it would turn on the light at night and turn it off during the day. And I guess that's not how it works. Someone informed me, because I was doing this on stream, and I think it was Spooky that informed me that it doesn't work like that. So it's like, that just shows I don't know redstone. So that's why I have daylight sensors. I'm sure some of you may comment, or you know, some of you realize that, and oh, that's it's just like and then we go back to using the mud brick as the roof, because that was the only texture that I could figure out. And I was trying really hard to keep things separate, like keep the mud brick for what was outside of the residential hall. You know, I wanted blocks to represent things in only certain locations. But when yes, we have a lot of blocks, but when you only have limited color palettes and like the colors that I want, I have to overlap with the blocks, unfortunately. So that's why it's like the roof has the mud bricks despite having it outside on her path outside, and then in the path out in front of the residential center or services. So yeah, I tried, and this is also another good example. We saw this with Tia's house, where I have, you know, the ceiling, because you really don't see the ceiling in Animal Crossing, but have like the same color lights. I decided to go with that as well. And yeah, I really like the look. I actually really like the color palette that I used. The white and the orange looks really, really good in my opinion. And I am really proud of how her house turned out. When we get to the interior, I'll explain the interior a little bit. And I got to use some blocks that I don't normally use. I really don't use red sandstone at all. Same with like, especially smooth red sandstone. I've used sandstone before, but red sandstone was something new that I hardly ever used. So I really like how it turned out. It's kind of a pretty block if you look at it. And I got to use copper a lot more, which, yay, more copper. And I got to use more, mossy bricks, and you can kind of see it in the corner, mossy cobblestone, because she has a little rock, a mossy rock in front of her, what's it called, fencing area in the corner. So, yeah, and I like how the roof looks. I did have to extend her entrance out a little bit, so it's not 100% like everybody's houses. I think a few of these houses I have to extend the entrance to it just to get the look that I want. And ironically, in game, I just hit Happy Home Paradise, so now eventually I will be able to redesign these. I'm not going to update that. If I redesign it in the game, I'm not going to redesign my islands versions. So we're gonna slide on down. I'm making up the lovely, what is it called? The chimney, which I really like. And you can really see the color on how it looks. And there we go with the pale oak. I really love pale oak. It's such a good block. I really love that we have a white wood. It's so pretty. But now we're gonna kind of zoom in after I finish putting down the glow lichen. Yeah, we're gonna zoom right in to the interior. And as you can see, it's so red. And so, you know, I build up her bed using the red nether brick. Over in the corner is supposed to be like a jacuzzi. I will work on that after, when we actually take a little look through. And there is another spot, I'm sorry if you heard that I'm gonna do while we're going through the look through. She has a pot, and I did the very basic of it. It's gonna be right there. That's what I'm working on right now. But there's a pot that I put in there that's really pretty, but I'm going to have to change it up. So, because I only put 2 blocks on it. It's so silly what I do, but I want to change it up in game. So when we get to that point, after all this is done and being built, I will show you that. And yeah, so I'm really proud, even though I struggled with the interior because it's so red. It's so very red. Oh, the cinnabar would have been perfect, because then I could have used different textures. And I tried with the mangrove using the wood, like where you can see the rings. I tried with that, and yeah, I really tried. But at the end of the day, I really am happy on how it turned out. I did struggle with this a bit, but I am so happy on how it turned out. And we're now getting to the bed, where, once again, I'm not making it, I made it so you can't really lay in the bed, but you don't really see the villagers sleep in their beds. So, and I wanted to put like maybe golems in as my villagers, so they don't sleep. So yeah, we'll get to that one. That's why I have fake beds, so it's okay. I really like how it looks, and it kind of helps the design. But we're finishing up now, so I guess I'll see you guys for the tour. All right, so we are done with the time lapse, and here we are in front of Soleil's house. So yeah, had a lot of fun building this one, as I discussed. One of my little mini rants about the the new blocks that are going to be coming out that would have worked perfectly. But yeah, as you can see, couldn't really see it in the time lapse, but here we got a throne, you know, so people can sit and all that. And yeah, as you can see, the oxidization is slowly working. And same with over here. I actually got a bar that was done, a couple bars, so working on that one. And we got our little copper golem guy right there. Isn't he adorable? So, yeah, I don't know if I would change this if we're still playing by the time the Chaos Cubed gets there. It might be a lot of work, so I might not ever change it. But let's head inside. And ta-da! You really couldn't see it, but I also had some black, terracotta, but, I'm really proud of this. Couldn't really see it as well, but I purposely put all the, how I wanted to put the lovely glazed terracotta down. I wanted it to face all the same way. Yes, right here is the outliner, but, you know, it's gonna have to be one way or the other. And I kind of did it the way that you would see it is from here, because, I mean, you kind of aren't gonna pay attention as you walk in. Who knows, some people will. But yeah, as you can see, very red. So red. But I like how it turned out. I like the canopy bed. I really like it. You know, have the standard smoker, crafting table, and then for a little sink, have the cauldron here. Got a little bit of a table, and then the I can't remember what it's called, but got the divider here. You know, very fancy. So I did say in the video that we were gonna finish up working on putting the water in, and that's what I want to do. So there we go. Okay. Because as you can see, now it's a jacuzzi and kind of has a bubble bath in her actual base, or her house. And I wanted that here, so we got that now. And then over here is the lovely pot. Now, yeah, I was having trouble with it a little bit, but for what I want to do is I want to set it up like this. So we're going to put you there. We're going to shift and click, so you get to watch. Show arms, base plate, gravity, and then we're going to give you that. I don't think we have the update that's out for this. I could be wrong. That might be a future thing, but, all right, swap to that. Now we gotta size it. I don't remember what the size was that I wanted. I think it was 0.5, 0.6 maybe. Invisible. And now the fun part is trying to bring you down. So we're gonna bring you down. I need to exit this. So yeah, I think that's a good size. We just need to bring you down a bit more. Okay. There. Now I'll be able to see it. Okay, so scroll a bit down. Okay. I think we'll make it a bit bigger. Scroll, bring you down a bit more. There. Okay. It's not the best, but it looks a lot better. I think I thought about adding some iron bars, and I might, but I'm afraid that they'll attach, and they won't look as right. I'm thinking about it right now. I don't think it would look as right that I want. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play around with it, but there's the pot. But yeah, this is Soleil's house, and I really like how it turned out. Got a lovely bed, and yeah, that's another house underneath our belt. Now, come out here, we have, and I mentioned it here, but here's the rock that I was talking about. Got some, you know, glow lichen and everything, but yeah, now we just really have out of the ones that I have worked on already, we have this one. We need to get that horse out of there. But we now have Eric's house next. And then I got to design Meringues and Judy's, and we got to work on this. So we're we're getting closer and closer, and then it's going to be a lot of the armor stand work for the shops, adding the lovely copper golems around, and all that. Make sure they stay. That'll be interesting. Or if not, living copper golems, maybe some copper golems or armor stands. I don't know. I want to add life into the area. But yeah, so I'm really proud of how it looks. Let's get, where is it? Let's fly up. Whee! Yeah, I really like how it's turning out, and I really like it. I'm just so happy and tickled about this. So anyway, I think that's gonna be about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Just a quick reminder, I did release a new One Block Skyblock episode last week, and it seemed like it didn't really get to you guys, so make sure to check that out. I really enjoyed it. I have some things that I might change for that series going forward, but we'll talk about it. It's not in that episode, in the next episode. It's not changing schedules, it's just changing how I might do the videos and for that one. So still working in progress for that. But yeah. And then so yeah. And I'll be live tomorrow playing on here actually. We might be gathering materials for Eric's house next. And then Saturday I'll be doing some Animal Crossing. We'll be working more on Happy Home Paradise. And as I said in the video, if I redesign any of these houses after I get to that point, I'm not going to change it here. I'm kind of holding off on redesigning any of those houses until I've built them. Like, if I do, I might redesign these first and then leave those and those alone. Same with my house. I don't know. May not. We may not even get to those, but I'm pretty happy on how this is fully turning out. Like, if we take a whole look, it's making me happy. So I still got to do the terraforming, but shh, that's future heart problem. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope, no, we need Soleil's house in the background. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. Make sure to answer the question of the day. Have you guys played the Tiny Takeover update yet? What do you think of it? Let me know. And yeah, I'll have a lot of fun. Or not a lot of fun, but we can have a lovely discussion about it. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, I think that's going to be about it. So I will see you guys next time and have a good one. Goodbye!